Hello everyone, today's video is going to cover how I, a professional tile installer, update this backsplash with this herringbone mosaic sheet tile. Alright, let's get started. The main priority for this little remodel is going to be to keep damage from happening to the cabinets and the fume hood. Using these small tools, delicate tools, is going to help with that. Also, I have this base molding remover that is great for popping off tricky tiles like this without damaging cabinets. The main thing to continue to keep in mind if you are attempting to do something like this is just be patient, take it slow, and eventually you'll be done. If you are unlucky like I was in this case and you damage enough of the drywall, you are going to have to completely remove it. Cutting everything around the perimeter of the cabinets and pulling the drywall off became necessary for this little remodel. Not a big deal, fairly easy to do with the multi-tool. Some of the corners don't have any kind of framing, so I am going to add some blocking to make sure that when I put the new board, it has something to catch on. Also, don't forget to mark where the studs are. Here's the cutout, and I will use some board that I have left over from other projects. Great thing about foam board is that I can do something called wet shimming, a great little trick that helps me to level and make everything nice and flat. Initially, the wall had a nasty bow in the middle, but with all of these adjustments, I was able to get everything perfectly flat and plumb. The next step is to tape everything that you cut out on the wall. I'm just using fiber mesh tape and the mortar I use for the wet shimming. Then, of course, you do have to anchor the board. Once that is complete, you can move on to finally prepping the tile. So, really important, you want to make sure to get your layout before you start putting any tiles down so that you can make sure that it's going to look okay on the wall. As for the actual cutting of the tile, I'm using a wet saw because I have it, but a hand glass cutter also works just fine. Takes longer, but that's another thing you can use. Just out of sheer habit, I always start my mosaics in the middle. This particular backsplash, there was no need to do that because there was asymmetry on the fume hood anyways, but I just always like to start in the middle and sort of radiate outwards. Putting these little last pieces in the corners was a bit time consuming, but that's just the nature of mosaic tiles. And that's it, all done. The installation is complete. Yes, it is possible to do no damage whatsoever to a countertop or cabinets, even though you are doing a complete tear out of a backsplash. So yes, it's possible. Just be very careful, take your time, and get it done. Thank you all for watching.